3 years ago, I was just a pawn in a game of power. My family, desperate to cling to their fading glory, forced me into a marriage with a man I despised, Damien Alistair. On our wedding night, he didn't even look at me. He tossed a stack of papers onto the bed and said, "Sign this divorce agreement. In 3 years, you'll walk away with nothing, and I'll be free. Until then, play the part of the perfect wife." His words were like ice, freezing my heart. He left without a second glance, leaving me alone in that cold, opulent room, a bride in name only. For 3 years, I lived in that gilded cage. To the world, I was Mrs. Alistair, the enviable wife of the city's most powerful man, but behind closed doors, I was invisible. He treated me with polite indifference, a piece of furniture in his grand mansion. I ate alone, slept alone, and bore the condescending looks of his family and staff. They whispered that I was a gold digger, a commoner who had tricked her way into their prestigious family. Damien never defended me. Why would he? I was just a temporary inconvenience. The humiliation was a constant, bitter taste in my mouth. But in that solitude, a fire began to burn within me. I wasn't going to be a victim. I wasn't going to walk away with nothing. Damien underestimated me, everyone did. They saw a weak, compliant girl from a fallen family. They didn't see the mind I had, the determination I was building. So, I started to learn. I devoured books on business, finance, and market strategy. I spent my nights not crying, but studying the Alistair Corporation, its strengths, its weaknesses, its every move. I used the insignificant allowance he gave me to make small, calculated investments, slowly building my own secret war chest. I also discovered Damien's secret weakness, a woman from his past, an old flame named Isabella. She was his one true love, the one he could never have because her family wasn't suitable. The irony was staggering. He looked down on me for my family's status, yet his heart belonged to someone his own family had rejected. This wasn't just about money anymore, this was about justice. This was about making him feel the same powerlessness and humiliation he had inflicted on me. My chance came disguised as a crisis. The Alistair Corporation faced a hostile takeover from a rival firm. Panic set in. Damien was working day and night, his usual composure cracking under the pressure. His family, who once looked at me with such disdain, were now running around in a state of chaos. And that's when I made my move. Using the knowledge I had gathered and the capital I had secretly accumulated, I began buying up small, overlooked shares of the Alistair Corporation through various shell companies. I was a ghost in the market, an invisible force slowly gaining ground. While Damien fought the external enemy, I was staging a quiet coup from within. I found a disgruntled board member, someone Damien had sidelined years ago. I presented him with my plan and my growing portfolio of shares. He was skeptical at first, but he saw the fire in my eyes and the meticulous detail in my strategy. He agreed to help me rally other dissatisfied shareholders. We were building an alliance, a shadow army right under Damien's nose. The day of the emergency board meeting was the day our 3-year contract was set to expire. I walked into that room, not as the meek Mrs. Alistair, but as a major shareholder. The look on Damien's face when my name was announced was something I will treasure forever. Shock, disbelief, and then a dawning, horrified understanding. The color drained from his face as I laid out my proposal, not to save the company from the external takeover, but to restructure the board, with me at the head. "You," he stammered, his voice barely a whisper. "How? You gave me 3 years, Damien," I said, my voice clear and steady, echoing in the silent room. "You thought I would spend it waiting for my dismissal, but I spent it learning. You taught me that power is everything, so I decided to take it for myself." The vote was a formality. My alliance held, the motion passed, I had won. I became the new chairperson of the Alistair Corporation. The man who had planned to discard me was now at my mercy. That evening, I handed him a single piece of paper. It wasn't a divorce agreement, it was his letter of resignation. He looked at me, his eyes a mix of fury and strange, newfound respect. "Why?" he asked. "Was it all for revenge?" I smiled, a real smile this time, not the fake one I had worn for 3 years. "Revenge is a start," I replied. "But this is about building my own empire, on the ashes of the one that tried to burn me. You were just the first brick. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a company to run." As I walked out of his office, leaving him standing there, a powerless figure in the empire he once commanded, I felt a profound sense of freedom. It wasn't just about the money or the power, it was about reclaiming my own story. I was no longer the girl forced into a marriage. I was a queen who had built her own throne. The world had tried to define me by my circumstances, but I had rewritten the rules, and my story was just beginning. This wasn't just the end of his reign, it was the dawn of mine.